room in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Vegas. I thought I'd come in and have some nice tea time with you. I have no agenda today. Usually I come on and do one of these streams. I have some topic to talk about or focus on, and I figured, today is just it's a nice feeling day. I thought I'd come on and listen to some nice music and answer some of your questions about tea if you have any. Actually, what I am planning to do at some point throughout the stream is actually go live to Reddit. I always like going live to Reddit because there's always a pretty big group of people that are interested in learning about tea, curious about tea. So it's always a good place to get some questions from. So I thought at some point I'll do that. But just gonna come on here first and say hello to all of you beautiful people. If you're here, say hi. I have a lot of tea here to drink, so I haven't actually chosen which one I'm going to drink right now because I don't know, I'm surrounded by a bunch of different teas. So I thought that based off of, what questions will potentially come in, I drink the tea that would be appropriate for that. Again, happy, beautiful Sunday afternoon. I hope you are all looking forward to a productive and wonderful week. Thought this would be fun just to have a chill out time in my tea room to close out this weekend. I hope you had a good one. Bitcoin and I had a very relaxing weekend. Actually, yesterday we had an eventful day. And he's still pooped, huh, Bitcoin? You still pooped from our adventures yesterday? Look at him. I feel sorry for Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin and I went for a pilgrimage yesterday. We went for a long walk. It ended up being a little over 6 miles, and we walked to visit our local monolith. These mysterious monoliths that have been popping up all over the place. Well, we got one here in Las Vegas at the Fremont Street Experience, so downtown Fremont, where the tourist destination downtown with the covered street with all the lights. It's actually quite beautiful. There's a 10-foot tall, 3-sided mirror monolith in the middle of downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Here, let me get a photo of it so I could show you. I didn't feel like driving. I wanted to go with Bitcoin, and I only live, a few miles from downtown, so I thought it'd be easy enough for us just to do the walk together. It was great. Beautiful weather here in Vegas. We're around, it's sunshiny all day long, and the coldest that it's getting is maybe in the low 50s, if anything. It's been really nice, the weather, so I was out getting some sun yesterday. Keep that vitamin D coming in. It's important. I'm just pulling up the photo of our local monolith. I mean, there's been several amazing photos, but this one in particular is good because it's got the one and only Bitcoin. Let's see. Here we go. Look at that. How's that look? Nice, yeah? You see it? Yeah, let me make it bigger. Look at that. So here's the monolith here. You see it? It's kind of cool how it it plays like a mind trick on you because you almost don't see it, Kind of hard to see these things from far away, especially that one that they saw from the helicopters in Utah. I'm just wondering how the heck they are able to see from that far away when it's just reflecting all of the desert around it, all of the canyons around it. But yep, there's Bitcoin on the famous Fremont Street Experience. getting his selfie. You can see his reflection behind on the monolith. It's pretty cool. I probably could have gotten better pictures, but you know, it's hustling, bustling downtown, crowds. I wanted to get out of there, so I just got our photo and got out of there. So that was our eventful day yesterday, and today we've just been relaxing. Just relaxing. So now I'm in the tea room. I'm gonna get going up on Reddit soon. Oh, sorry, PB boy. Get me beautiful. I'm gonna get going on Reddit so that way I can get some questions, because I don't know if you've ever done the Reddit live streaming, but it's pretty free for all and distribution is pretty fast, and I find it to be a really great place just to meet a bunch of strangers really fast that are really curious and really interested about tea. And I don't do it often, and I should do it more often. I'm thinking all the time that I should go down to Reddit more often. But I'm in the mood today. I'm feeling good today. Beautiful day today. I'm gonna have a look-see here. Oh, something makes me think that I took the Reddit app off my phone. Well, now I have to put it back on now. So let me do that first. That would be good. I should drink some tea until then. I have a feeling they're gonna ask about matcha. Everybody always asks about matcha, so I'll save that for later. I've got all even the freshly ground stuff here ready to go. Maybe I'll drink this one. This one's a fun one. Look at that. Genmaicha. Genmaicha is a Japanese green tea with roasted brown rice mixed into it. We don't actually carry many blended teas on our catalog, so this blended tea here is really unique. This is probably one of the few blended teas within the specialty tea range. Most of the teas that we deal in specialty tea, like the top tier of quality teas, are pure tea leaf, usually from one specific terroir, which is what our whole business is all about. We are 100% single origin, working directly with the families that are producing that product. Just turn down the music. I like this music, but I think maybe a little too loud. So yeah, this is a blended tea, and in good Japanese style, of course the Japanese are the ones to figure out how to make blended tea, or how to make, I guess it's not going to send to that one. Because blending, or even things like flavoring or roasting, are typically things that are done to like lower quality teas. And that's actually what the Japanese have done. So with Genmaicha or with Hojicha, those are teas that are harvested later in the season and will essentially have a lot of their qualities diluted. So that means the quality of the product is not that much as good as it could be, but with ingenuity, we're able to figure out how to increase the value of the tea by doing something like blending it or roasting it in the case of Hojicha or Bancha or whatever grade of roasted green tea from Japan. So the green tea leaf in here, maybe I'm not on this one specifically, but of the category of Genmaicha tea, of that category, the green tea is typically like a lower grade green tea. Not to say that it's coming from a lower grade farm. It's just it's maybe harvested later in the season, or it's from parts of the harvest that are not as premium quality, that would have as much unique character on its own as a sencha. So the roasted brown rice is added to add an extra like character and texture and experience to the tea to make it a higher value experience. So it adds value to the tea that normally may not be, you know, as high a value if it was, you know, a sencha, or, you know, going into even the more premium versions of sencha, which typically involve a lot more labor, you know, not just in the processing, but also in the cultivation. Oh, Bitcoin, he's tired. He's just like dead weight on me. Dead weight. All right, my Reddit is good. Just gotta log in now. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about tea, this is gonna be a good time. And you can kind of guide my tea drinking session right now. I think I'm gonna dig into this Genmaicha. I've just been talking about this blended green tea from Japan. But if there's something else that you're interested in, I can certainly brew that up, drink that, talk about that, answer any questions that you may have about it. Also, I do have the Topia virtual tea house open. You know, I'll just stream, you know, happy like this. But if you guys want an extra layer of interactivity, you are welcome to join me in Topia. The link is in the title of this video. It's very simple. You know, I don't even have to tell you how to do it. You'll figure it out when you get here. And I'll be able to keep an eye out when you pop in. But just keep in mind that if you come into Topia, you're coming into my stream as well. So we'll have some live fun. Ideally, you'll be drinking tea with me. We're always drinking tea. Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? Let me know you're here. Actually, I changed my mind. I saw this tin and I'm like, ooh, I'm drinking this one. I hope there's still some tea. There's still some tea in it. Good, I'm gonna drink this one. I'm in the mood for this. This is brown oolong. Brown oolong from Nepal. And I love teas from Nepal. Not to say that all tea from Nepal is great. I wish that all tea from Nepal was great. I really, really do wish that. But, you know, sometimes you have to be patient with things. You know, the terroir of Nepal is incredible. The whole Himalayan, you know, area, that terroir is incredible. It's crisp, it's clean, it's well intentioned, it's fierce. You know, I like that. I like fierce. But you know, with any good craft, sometimes it can take generations for it to develop. And even though Nepal has been growing tea, you know, there's documentation of it growing since the late 1800s. You know, they didn't really start to grow it until like the 1980s. And then even then, they weren't equipped with the know-how of making artisanal tea. They're working with a very good terroir, and that's an advantage that they have compared to a lot of the other small tea growers that we work with. But there's still a craftsmanship that needs to be there, the mindfulness that needs to be there in order to make high quality product. And it's there. It's just in its early stages. You know, any revolution, any movement in the beginning has a lot of resistance, and I feel like that's it. You know, here, you know, the intention is there, the hunger is there, the hard work, that initial investment of hard work, that's actually already been done. But the consistency of practice is not there quite yet. So, you know, that's why I say not all teas from Nepal are great, because there's still that consistency needs to get involved. Hmm. Say hi if you're here. It's just me and Bitcoin sitting here. All right, I figured out my Reddit password. You know, there's those accounts that you don't log into all the time because my Reddit stays logged in on all of my devices everywhere until I, take it down. All right, let's see. Facebook's video is lagging. I wonder if it's me. Let me go. Thanks, Joe, for letting me know. Let me go check out how everything's going in my stream. Is the audio good for you? Oh, it's not letting me see the real time. Yeah, it says I haven't dropped any. It might be just your internet just had, if you're watching from your phone or something. Is it still lagging for you, Joe? Hey, Joe, I'm in Topia if you want to join me there. And we could just chat directly there. I mean, then you'll be streaming, but you know how it is. All right. Let's see here. Enable camera. Oh. Yeah, I'll probably still be here in half an hour, Joe. Enjoy your dinner. Come back. I'll be here. We can chat. We can catch up. I'll probably be done with Reddit by then. Yeah, I'm about to go live on Reddit and let the hordes of Redditors ask me anything about tea. Oh, ask a tea expert. What are you going to ask me? Ask me something good. Let's see. I think I want the angle down a little bit. Yeah, Joe, I hope you have a good dinner. All right, here we go. So yeah, I'm about to drink this brown oolong coming from Elam, Nepal. So that's kind of on the more eastern side of the country of Nepal, right in the thick of the Himalayan mountain range. I mean, I think all of Nepal is part of the Himalayan mountain range. Just before I get started, I'm going to prime all of my wares. So I have my teaware here, And I just want to get everything nice and warmed up before I start brewing this tea. So this is my gaiwan. This is where I'll actually be brewing the tea. I've got the hot water in here, pouring that into the pitcher. Just gonna run the hot water through there into my cup. Now the tea I have here is a beautiful, partly oxidized tea. Now that's what makes the different teas different. That is the main processing step that makes all the different types of tea, you know, because all tea comes from the same plant. Go ahead and type your questions in the comments, but until then, I'm just going to continue explaining what I'm doing here. So I'm eyeballing this. When I first started brewing tea and learning about tea, I definitely used a scale. And that is advisable. It's not required, but if you want to essentially calibrate yourself as a tea brewer, it's a really great way to develop that practice of doing a consistent brew, and also, you know, just knowing how much leaf you should be putting in. So I'm just eyeballing here for a gaiwan this size about 3 grams of leaf. Now this total Tim had only 15 grams. So when you have something like that, you have some weed tea, good for you. Yeah, that's good too. You know, you can actually infuse the weed. I actually have some here. This isn't the weed that you may be thinking. This is hemp flower, so industrial hemp. This is being grown for the CBD industry. It's also being grown for now building materials and different like fiber materials. So we have our first hemp wood factory in Kentucky now, which is really incredible, bringing hemp back into our lifestyles here in the States. But this is a really beautiful sun-dried hemp flower. This was produced for seed, so it wasn't necessarily flower that was harvested for the flower market. Yeah, I've got some nice tunes on, but no, this is seriously hemp flower, and you can brew it like a tea. In fact, I'll do it right now. I know I'm about to brew this tea in that gaiwan, but just because you brought that up, Canadian Shield, I'm gonna have to brew some. So I can just get a different teapot for that. As simple as that. Here, you know what? I get my really special pretty teapot. This one's really nice. Look at that. Kind of matches, you know. Just, it's my favorite colors. It's like pink and green. Do I have an electric kettle? Yes, I do. I have an incredible, very sexy electric kettle that I highly recommend. I am not going to recommend any brand. I have brand on here, which, I mean, you can see if you want to go check out this particular brand. But there's like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different brands making kettles like this. And they have like the, oh, thank you for the upvote there. They have like the stand that it goes on that powers the electricity that will heat it up. And then it has a temperature control on it, so you can set the exact temperature you want. And with tea brewing, it's really important to be mindful of the temperature that you're using in your steeping, because if it's something delicate like a green tea, you may over extract, you know, too much of the the caffeine and the tannins and the other bitter components that'll make your tea taste less delightful. So I'm gonna have to. So now I need to prime this one as well. You know, I like to get all of my tea wares warm before I put the tea in and start brewing, because I don't want there to be like a shock, like a temperature shock to the tea. So I just put just normal hot water in this teapot, taking it out now. All right, you guys can see this. Up front, these are all of my tea pets here. These are like my lucky icons that, you know, steep the tea with me. So this is the hemp flower. You see the color is like yellow. Now you're talking about the other kind of weed. That's gonna be like more green like this, right? But this is hemp. This is the other weed you're talking about. This is the hemp. Okay, that is a good question. So you asked how long to usually steep black and green tea, minimizing the amount of the tannins. So um, when I'm steeping in this way, where I'm using a higher ratio of leaf to the water, that's not mate. This is hemp. This is sun-dried hemp flower, and I'm gonna steep it just like a tea. It does look a little like mate. You're right. So I'm just now adding my boiling water to the hemp flower in this teapot. This pot has the hemp. And then on this teapot, I have that brown oolong. So this is a true tea. Now that hemp flower, even though I'm brewing it like a tea, it is not tea. It's technically called a tisane. Tea weed, tweed. Yeah, hemp tea. Not to be confused with weed. This is hemp. Very high in CBD, but no claim made on this tea. And in fact, we're brewing it in water. And hemp is not water soluble. So technically, we're not going to be getting a whole lot of hemp or CBD out of this infusion. But who knows? I'll get 2 pitchers here. I'll need 2. I have 2 teas brewing. I'm gonna decant both of them right now because I don't want to oversteep the tea. Like I was saying, when I'm doing this like brewing style like this is called Gung Fu brewing. When I'm doing it this way, I only steep for like 45 seconds, less than a minute. See this one here? This is that beautiful brown oolong. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to drink this one. This one's gonna be really good. Infusion, yeah, you can call it an infusion or a tisane, because tea has to come from the Camellia sinensis plant. So this is going to be the hemp here. I'll get a nice view front and center. Ooh, a little messy, but you know what? It's okay. My table is made for that. My table is made for everything to be messy. Yeah. So technically this is not tea, this is a tisane, remember, or an herbal infusion. So this is like an infusion. Let me just get my paper here. I like having this because then you can really see the color. Look at that color, it's so like clear. This is hemp, this is the hemp flower. So clear and beautiful. I barely infused it too, maybe only. So you do feel the effect of the terpenes, and I think that's what it is. And so what we, tell people when they start consuming this product is that there's no CBD health claim on it. In fact, this is water soluble, so none of that is actually getting into the final infused product. But you do get like a subtle reaction from it. It's like very subtle, like your body just feels more relaxed. More better, more better. So what's the difference between an infusion and a tea? So the infusion or the tisane or the herbal infusion is whenever you infuse an herb with the hot water. And you also infuse tea, but tea specifically comes from one plant, and that plant's name is Camellia sinensis. You can make a black, white, oolong, pu'er, yellow oolong tea, all from that one plant. And it's all just how you process it that you get the different types of tea. And the main process step that does differentiate that is the oxidation. So that's the same kind of oxidation that happens when you cut an apple open and it starts to turn brown. It's the exact same enzymes that are inside the tea leaf that will then start to brown. So like a green tea, you want to denature that enzyme and you don't want any browning to happen. You want it to remain green. You lock in that green color. It's kind of like when you blanch vegetables to lock in the green color. And then like oolong tea or black tea, you actually do want some oxidation. So oolong tea is in between green tea and black tea. So it's somewhere between 20 to 80% oxidation. And then once you go any more oxidation beyond that, any more brown, then you're in the black tea category. And so that's the difference between all the teas. It's as simple as that, but let me tell you, it is an endless rabbit hole that will go on forever and ever and ever. Okay, so what is the best way to get rid of tea stains? There are a lot of ways to do that. One thing that I have found to be very useful is vinegar. Using a vinegar, so that could be like an apple cider vinegar or even any other kind of vinegar that you may have. I think that the pH of the vinegar helps break down all of the stuff that's been staining your tea wares. So try that one out. If not, that just might be the life of your teaware, and that's okay sometimes. These tea pets, actually, the whole purpose of the tea pet is that you want the staining, right? So this tea pet sits on my tea table here as I drink different teas. I can rinse a little bit off. This is I feel like he's thirsty. I can rinse a little bit off. No harm done to this tea pet. His thirst is quenched a little bit, and the tea pet starts to develop like a patina, like you see on the bottom of this little piece of reef that I use as one of my tea pets. Yeah, vinegar and baking soda, that's a good idea. Yeah. Oh wow, what a small world. You're drinking a green tea with THC and CBD infused. So let me know, what did you do on that? Did you did you cook or did you infuse the THC and CBD into like an oil and then put that into your tea? Because that's something I've tried before. And like a little bit of coconut oil, it does add like kind of an oily texture to the tea, but extremely effective. Yeah. So, tasty notes on this. It's very gentle. I brewed it really lightly. The aroma is nice, though. I mean, it's definitely noticeable, and something that people like about this is they say, like, I enjoy cannabis, but for one reason or another, I just don't enjoy smoking it right now. But, I miss it. I miss the flavor. I miss kind of like, the body relaxation from it. And they start drinking this and they're like, this hits all of that because I get like the aromas and the flavors from cannabis that I miss. And then, drinking it is a very non-abrasive way of getting, and it's mostly from the terpenes, as you'd said. Oh, Kikoko, I've seen that. That's like an LA-based brand. Yeah. Um, I believe it's in tea bags, right? The tea is in tea bags. But yeah, they're using like an isolate. So they take like the concentrated CBD. And they have a THC one too. I didn't know that. I thought they were just doing CBD. Did you buy that at a dispensary or just a normal store? That's interesting. There's THC stuff at the normal store now. I didn't know if that was legal or not. Not legal as far as I know. Actually, CBD in hemp is technically like against the rules of the way that the FDA law. So like when you're working within, these businesses, you're not just working within your state's laws, which, a lot of the states have fully legalized these things. You have to work not only within the state's laws, but then you also have to work within the normal like federal jurisdictions that you usually have to work within, which tea is considered a food product and that's regulated under the FDA. So you have to follow the same rules of the FDA that every other, food brand, food processed product has to follow. And the FDA has something called, they have the ingredients, approved ingredients, and then there's something called GRAS ingredients, generally regarded as safe ingredients. And if you look on there, hemp seed is declared a GRAS ingredient, but the dispensary, the CBD as an ingredient has not been approved by the FDA. So if you have CBD on your product and it's a product intended to be a food consumed product, the FDA could, recall it, shut you down, do whatever. Except for in the state of New York. So if you ever do see like in the market like CBD food products, like drinks that have CBD in them, that say CBD on the title, if you look, they're all made in New York State because I don't know, I don't know the actual laws there, but New York State is the only place where it's been approved as a food ingredient. But like I said, hemp is on that GRAS list. So that is interesting. So how's it making you feel, Icy? Are you, and then how's it taste too? That's something I'm curious about, because this is actually a really delightful taste. It's a little peppery at the end, but the taste on the front is really nice and grassy and herbaceous, like herb you would think. But the texture is actually quite buttery, like a little like oil on the tongue, which is interesting. All right, so now I'm gonna go and check out this tea, this brown oolong from Elam, Nepal. This one, look at that color. That's a good tea. Like when it's vibrant like that, that's a good tea. And then there's not quite too much pubescence on it, but like the little hairs, you can see little hairs. That's like the trichomes, like the little hairs, like on weed, on bud. Uh, and they say it's hairy, it's got those little hairs on it, and those little hairs can have little hairs on it. Those are the trichomes. And tea has that as well. The really young buds that they harvest for the tea has that. So cool. Glad you're liking it. Oh, this tea is good. This one's good. This one's much more sweet, and this one has a much more rounded mouthfeel to it. Like it has texture to it. It has some bite to it almost, but not bite in a bad way. It's like bite as in like I feel like I could bite it, even though it's liquid. It's not just running down my throat like water. Well, Icy, I hope that you have a good journey. You learned something good about yourself and you come out the other side feeling a better person. Yeah. Do I know any legends about tea? I know a lot of legends about tea. In fact, Chinese teas, like even the names of the teas, are all based on legends. So there's like an endless, book of all of the legends around tea there. Maybe my favorite, hey Brendan, good to see you. Peace, man. My favorite legend is from the Phoenix Mountain area in Guangdong province, which is very close to like Guangzhou or Hong Kong, near to the town of Chaozhou. There's a very famous mountain there that has probably like the highest quality oolong teas that come from that place. And that place is Phoenix Mountain, or Fenghuangshan in Chinese. And their oolong teas are named after specific aromas. And the farmers have to do a lot of work to select the plants that have the aromas that they are looking for. So you have ones like honey orchid, or I don't know, there's a whole list of all of these like beautiful smells. But there's one that's called duck shit. It's like, duck shit doesn't smell good. Like, why would they call it duck shit? And actually, when I went there and I asked about that, the best tea for anxiety will be this one. This is the hemp tea. And actually, you can get this from my website. Like, I have a website. I didn't put in the title or anything like that. But if you look for me, you'll find it. Teaanditspeople.com. Teaanditspeople.com. Or simply Tealet. Tealet. Maybe my tea fairy can let you know. She's the one. So this is my wholesale website. Wholesale goes here. So like a business, if you've got a business and you're looking for buying tea, like supply chain, transparent supply chain on Bitcoin to the farmers around the world, go to this website, tealet.com. But even if you go to this website, on that front page, there will be a link to my retail website, and you can find this hemp tea on that. The name of this hemp tea on my website is Golden Sun. The hemp tea, it tastes and smells like cannabis. But then its like texture is like rich and buttery and kind of citrusy, like in aroma. And then there's a little bit of like a spicy aftertaste from it. But like overall, just feeling like mellow. I mean, I only drank like not even a full cup and I'm feeling better than I did when I started, obviously, but I don't know. There's no exact health claim to it. Like, and this product is not being sold as a health product. It's just another way to enjoy some beautiful plant medicine, plant magic that we are gifted on this Shengneng. Okay, so Sheng is a style of pu'er tea processing, but I think you might be wondering about the legend of the man that discovered tea, and his name was Shengneng. Shengneng. See, I'm not even so familiar with him, but he was like a what do you call that? Medicine man, shaman. But not really. I don't know what they're called, but he would practice with different herbs and finding different soups for different ailments, and supposedly he was the one. Shangdang. I think that's who Shangdang is. Emperor. Yeah, he was an emperor. Was he? I don't know. I know there's another legend of an emperor who was like, or I don't know. There's like that one legend of he was like meditating. So maybe he was a monk. He was meditating and he was so frustrated that he couldn't, stay awake to meditate, that he ripped his eyelids off and those turned into tea leaves. I've heard of that legend, but then there's also several other legends too. But like pretty much all of tea in China is based on legends. And then even when you go to the villages of like where those legends come from and you ask like different people the exact legend, like the one of the duck shit that I was talking about, everybody will tell you a different story. And like different people, like completely different stories. I mean, maybe certain premises, yeah, you can ship this golden sun can ship all over the world. It can ship everywhere. It's completely legal product. Hemp is a completely legal product. It was illegal in the United States for a little bit, but it is all in the clear now. Thank goodness. But yeah, the weed tea, I don't know. I have done it before. It's nice. It makes an interesting way of experiencing like all of the terpenes and the different, characters. So this, tealet.com, that's my logo. Or not my logo, but this is like our icon. She's a tea fairy. She's cute. tealet.com. That's my wholesale website. But from there, you'll find my retail website. But if you want to go directly to the retail website, teaanditspeople.com. Like the tea owns us, It's true. I know it sounds Golden Sun. Yeah, that's the hemp. That's this hemp tea. It's called Golden Sun. And this is smokable too. So, if that's what you like, which actually is really popular right now, like hemp cigarettes, like pre-rolled hemp flower. I saw like they're selling them at the gas station and such. So like they're, people are smoking this stuff. I accidentally smoked it one time, and I will say that like I had that initial like body relaxation, and honestly I thought it was cannabis. So like I smoked it and assumed that I was having cannabis, and so like my body like initially like did that thing like where it just totally like decompresses, just relaxes. It did that, and then I like wasn't feeling the psychoactive effects of it. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And I smoked some more, and I smoked some more, and I smoked some more. I'm like, what's going on? I'm not feeling it. And then I realized it wasn't this exact one, but it was a hemp flower. And so that's where I realized, whoa, so that's it. That's the magic of hemp, is that like it has that anti-anxiety, like just body relaxation effect that cannabis has without the psychoactive. Lots of teas will help with a upset stomach. So hey, Icy and Fly, you guys just greeted each other, and I'm curious. Like, I'm kind of new to RPAN, you know, like, I've gone live a few times. I really enjoyed it. I'm more active, like, on Twitch and other social channels. I've never seen, like, viewers chatting with each other, knowing each other, so it's pretty cool. So I'm guessing like there's like a community vibe in RPAN now, like where you know different streams develop different communities and people call each other out. I'm glad to see that. Um, I'm not from Britain. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, in the United States. And I'm a tea importer. I'm a tea advocate. I'm a global tea ambassador. How to get ignored by dogs. It's hard to he's pretty beat. He's pretty tired, so he just wants to be sleeping, but his name is Bitcoin. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good boy. See, he's just gonna go right back to bed. He just wanted to go. Okay, you have a good question. Throw away. You have a good question. What's a good tea for a 21-year-old who's into bodybuilding to drink and relax? Okay, so any tea is going to be good for that. Any tea. And this is going to be my plug for the my plug for health claims of tea, right? Because you just asked what good tea is good for this, what tea is good for that. Yeah. My Christmas decoration. All tea is good, but ultimately, the tea that's good is the tea that you drink every day, right? Like, because it's then at that point, it's not about specifically about the tea, it's about your lifestyle of like sitting down to prepare it, to being mindful of something, of, and every tea is going to have different health benefits to it. Green tea may be really good for antioxidants and for caffeine and energy. Mind energy though, remember, because caffeine in tea is different because it has L-theanine in it, and the theanine changes the caffeine's reaction in the body from like this jolt of energy to like mental focus, body relaxation, right? But then oolong tea is good for like processing lipids in the body, that's fat. So if you eat heavy meal, it's really good to eat oolong afterwards, or to drink oolong afterwards. Pu'er is also good for that. Pu'er is also very high in energy, qi energy. So that's like the minerals that like help ground your qi in your body. But ultimately, all of those health benefits are good. And the only way that you're going to get the full benefit of all of those things is if you're drinking the tea every day and like getting that little bit every day, every day, every day. And, you know, having a variety, kind of changing it up is really good, actually, because every tea is good for different reasons. Tea is a rabbit hole. Didn't I say that, Icy? I said that like right at the beginning. I was like, tea is a rabbit hole. It's as simple as there's 5 different types of tea. They all came from the same plant. Okay, that's simple. But once you start going into the intricacies of it, it becomes very complex. And I've been studying tea for 12 years now, and I feel like I'm just starting to scratch the surface. If you Google my name or try to find me online, you may find me to be, you know, a verified tea expert, and I'll still say I am no expert. I still have much more to learn. It's a really incredible journey, and I'm grateful to have been invited, you know, into this world of tea and have this opportunity to share it with you. So thank you so much for watching my stream today from my tea table here. Again, I do stream regularly to Twitch and to other channels as well, so whatever channel you like. I stream almost daily. I do need to do this RPAM more often. I always enjoy coming on here. I get a lot of really great questions every time I come on here. A tea that helps with appetite. Yeah, you don't have an appetite in the morning. Well, maybe this will help. You know, I don't know if there's a tea that specifically helps with appetite. Definitely nothing like cannabis. You know, that would be my immediate recommendation if you're having some type of you know, issues with your digestion or with pain or anxiety, you know, cannabis can help with that. But green tea. If you drink green tea in the morning on an empty stomach, you will not feel well. And so I say that because perhaps you could use that as a mechanism to encourage you to eat something, at least a banana. You know, at least a pack of crackers or something small. It doesn't have to be much of a meal that you have to eat, but yeah, if you take green tea on an empty stomach, like a bowl of matcha, or sit with like some young sheng pu'er, your stomach will definitely hurt. It will not feel comfortable. And so if you like take up a practice of drinking that tea, then you'll, you know, force yourself to remember to to eat something before you drink that tea, or else you won't feel well. Oh, thanks, Icy. I will strain here more often. Thanks. I like it here. Someone was telling me actually that that you can I don't know. I like the phone though. I like the phone. I'm gonna keep it on the phone. Is it weird to suck on the tea bag after it's steeped for a while? It's not only weird, it is disgusting. All right? Get the tea bag out of your life. You don't need that anymore. I don't care if you want to suck on it. Like, that's not what's gross here. It's the tea bag itself. I mean, whatever. It's just gross. For many reasons. Loose leaf is better. Look at that. Look at that. Does that look gross? That does not look gross. That looks good. That looks good. The tea bag is gross. You know why I say that is because like the tea that ends up in tea bag is never good tea. You'll never find good tea in a tea bag. Yeah, let your friend know that. You should have left tea bags back. Tea bagging was a habit you leave in college. You leave it there. It's gross. We're adults here. We don't need to be tea bagging or even thinking about tea bagging. Is there a tea institute, and where does one study it? There is not a tea institute. There are several organizations. Teabag sucking, I guess, is a thing. I guess it's a thing for WS. So someone says that I have teabag hatred. It's true. It's true. There's nothing to love in tea bags. Well, you know, tea bags also have microplastics, even the paper ones, because like paper, think about it. If I had this, filled it with tea, and put it in here, this is gonna dissolve, right? So what do you think they do? They spray a layer of plastic on the paper. And that's how, you know, your tea bag can go in the water and you can do. You like sucking plastic, okay? I get it. No, I got a lot of tea bag hate. But, you know, regardless of the plastics and regardless of the college jokes, you know, the tea that goes into the tea bag, and look, that's so funny because I have a tea bag on my shirt, but it's only because it's Mr. T. Yeah, the tea bag, the tea that goes into tea bags is not good tea. It's engineered to not be. Oh, good, Kayla. Glad you got your Gaiwan. That's good. You're gonna be able to drink all that good tea. Yeah, like they engineer the tea so that it will steep. Yeah, I'm doing Kung Fu. I got a brown oolong going on in this Gaiwan here. And then in this beautiful teapot, I have some, it's an interesting one. It's a different one. Maybe you can not see it or see it. This is actually sun-dried hemp flower. You can see that there? It smells nice. Yes, I'm doing Kung Fu. Yeah, no, all tea bags have microplastics. But yeah, the tea is engineered to brew faster, right? Because if you're going to use, yeah, this one does match my nails, doesn't it? I noticed that earlier. My teapot, I should be like a little, even though my manicure is like not that great, but it's matching this pot. It's definitely accentuated with this pot. And I love coffee. I have a good cup of coffee every morning, all right? I'm not going to lie about that. I am not going to lie about it. You can, yeah, you can drink hemp flower. You could even drink cannabis flower if you really wanted to. You're definitely not going to be extracting any of that THC. So it's kind of an expensive tea to drink. I've done it before just for science sake, and it was, a good time. It was fun. Icy Corgi, you got it right. Coffee for the wake up, and then tea for the rest of the day. That is like that's the killer move. That's what I'm into. And especially like the coffee, I like to be like a really strong cup, maybe espresso, or if I don't do espresso, then I'll do an AeroPress and just like make it really heavy, beautiful cup of coffee just to get me going. And then the rest of the day, I can sit at my tea table. This is actually my desk. I'm on my workstation right now. You can see I've got my keyboard. So, but I'm hidden behind my tea table. I mean, who else gets to say they have a gung fu tea tray at their desk? You can smoke tea. Yes, I have done several experiments on that as well. We did find that Japanese green teas, especially the kukicha, they are the best for smoking. Valencian, yes, I do work in tea. I own a tea business. You can find me online. I have a very cool tea business. I'm pretty sure you guys will all like it. Tealet.com. That's our tea fairy. I know it's probably backwards or whatever, but you got it. Tealet.com. That is my website. And then this is my wholesale website. So my business, what I do is I run a B2B, business to business wholesale supply chain platform between independent family-owned tea farms and wholesale tea business buyers. So I just facilitate that supply chain. I do all the importing. I have a warehouse here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then I ship out orders through that tealet.com marketplace. So if you go to that website, you have to have an approved wholesale account in order to see the teas and to see the marketplace to order. So you have to go through that process. Now, if you're not a wholesale account, I have a retail website. You can get to it from tealet.com, but that direct link is teaanditspeople.com. Teaanditspeople.com. I know it's an interesting name, but I do like to say that like the tea, I mean, it certainly owns me. My whole life has just been completely, determined by my work in tea and the relationships I make in tea. But tea has also built other communities. Specifically, a lot of these like mountain indigenous communities throughout Southeast Asia have a lot of commonality in having these indigenous roots in the Camellia sinensis plant. And I'm just like super fascinated by that. Oh, I like that. So Icy says you're basically a high rolling drug dealer, but with tea, kind of. Oh, thank you for putting that link in there. Yeah, I'm not trying to do the phone. I'm just like trying to talk with you, trying to drink some tea. Yeah, this is fun. This is actually fun. Valencian, you have a friend in Miami that's in tea. Is it JoJo Tea or is it Small Tea Company? And there's a couple other in Miami. Yeah, Valencian, let me know. I'd like to know. More than likely, I know your friend. The tea community is, it's not that large of a community. And we all pretty much know each other. And more than likely they know me because the work that I do, working with these small farmers Who are some tea people you know in DC? Um, Michael. Oh, so you know JoJo. Dude, JoJo's my brother. Dude, ask JoJo. Next time you talk to Mike, ask him about Elise at Tila, Elise in Vegas. You'll see, man. We go way back. Actually, JoJo Tea is my very, 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 very first wholesale account. Like, honest. Like, that is like my whole business now. My whole work is like the wholesale thing. And JoJo, Mike, the first time we met, I was dressed up like a lunatic, like this character right here. And we have a selfie of us, like me in the pink hair and everything. And we started working from that day. Yeah, Mike's awesome peeps in Miami. Oh, so you've been to his tea room. He just moved to tea rooms, but he has an incredible presence with tea. And actually, a lot of the teas that he works with are through my supply chain platforms. So, yeah, we do a lot of work together. My preferred method um, is this bad boy right here. This is called a Gaiwan. Gaiwan. This is actually a very nice Gaiwan. This is a handcrafted Gaiwan from some friends, some potter friends in Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you want to check them out, easy name to remember, not made in China. The East India Tea Company. Okay, we'll have to do a whole separate stream just on that because there is some dirt. There is some dirt, and like there's dirt that still exists to this day. The roots of colonization that the East India Company had planted there, and it's interesting because when you ask local people in India about the British, when the British were there, what it was like, they actually call that the Golden Age because when the British colonizers were there, they had a mutual interest in developing a legacy industry. So actually, the colonizers were very good to the workers. They knew that if they skilled the workers and treated them well, that they would make a better quality product. And so they paid them well. They did organic practices and all of that. But then, as soon as the British left India, they sold their companies to the higher castes. Brahmins and Maoris and other castes that are higher, and so it's like that mutual interest in developing a legacy was gone, and then you have like hatred and discrimination. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, this is the good thing. This is the best thing to brew with because you want lots of space for your tea leaves to dance, brew, move around, be able to extract all their flavor and color and everything. You see how big those leaves get? And they'll get even bigger. They'll unfurl more. I'm gonna have to remember that. Griselda Blanco. But yeah, since you brought that up, I'll do a separate stream just to talk about colonization of tea and what happened there. And the ripples of that are still being felt. And drinking a tea like this, like a good quality tea that requires craft and skill, is something that oh, this is good. I went back to the hemp. Hey Joe, what's up? History and tea are fascinating. So what's really cool about the history of tea is that there's some documented places that say that it's like 5,000 years of history. But then, if we look at like the world's history of drinking tea, we have all these like chai culture and Russian tea culture, like that's only like a couple hundred years. So like of the 5,000 years that we've been making tea, it's only really been like a common man's thing for a couple hundred years. So I think it really means that there's a lot that we have yet to even discover about tea, as everything. But
do I not have sound or you just muted?
No, you have sound, Joe. Oh, someone gave
Why
me
is
more
there a
time.
sock?
Do you hear me?
I still can't hear
Yeah.
it. There's a sock.
Huh.
I'm gonna refresh.
Thanks for giving me more time. I guess I could. Yeah, I'll make more of these because 45 minutes just goes like this, you know. But hey, if you guys really like this, you can follow me on Twitch, Tlet T, Tlet T. This is the website, tlet.com. You'll get all of the socials there, and you can follow my live streams. They're fun, they're interactive, they're social. I'm still gonna be streaming actually on Twitch after this, so feel free. Joe, do you hear me now? Joe? That's so interesting. All right, I guess I've got to make a schedule for Reddit. I'll put it up on my profile. Joe, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, there it is.
Okay. I guess I had to mute myself and...
No, I turned my headphones off and then back on.
Oh, okay.
That might have been it.
Okay, I see.
Because they're Bluetooth headphones and how Bluetooth works. It's finicky.
Twitch affiliate.
Somebody lost a sock. What is that all about?
You know what happens? It's probably from some random person's like dryer or something, you know? You know what I mean?
It is the most random. It is the most random item to just be chilling in Topia. It's the only one, too. There's nothing else like that. It's just one random sock. It looks super weird.
Oh yeah, Kayla, come on in. We're in Topia. Kayla's watching the stream. Okay, so I was just streaming to Reddit. I did like a little 45-minute Reddit stream.
Streaming to Reddit? Is that a new thing or what?
They've been doing it for like the last year or so, but it's like they only give you 45 minutes. You can only stream from your phone, and it's like once you go on, it's like viewers are gonna find you. I don't know the way the algorithms work or whatever, and they're gonna ask you a million questions. So I was just like dealing with a lot of questions. That's good. I figured I'd do that because like sometimes I go live and like no one's watching and I'm not getting any feedback. So I was like, oh, I'll go on Reddit. I know for sure I'll get shit if I go to Reddit.
Dude, Reddit algorithms are awesome. I go on Reddit when I like want like content and not just like the same shit that I see every day.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Because like Facebook is just like it's like the same 5 people in my Facebook feed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same 5 pages, and then whatever I've subscribed to notifications for. But with Reddit, it's like it's always interesting.
Yeah, always interesting.
Oh, look at this!
A little.
It's like, oh, sorry. Oh, it's my speakers.
It's like just yell at you as soon as you walk in.
On my Bose speakers. Hi guys!
Hey Kayla Bear, what's up, girl?
Starts screaming at us. It's funny.
Wait, who was screaming? I was screaming?
No, she was. Well, I did. Did you see
That's
the
got the
sign?
moon phases, and I've got the chakras. That's funny. Boom.
Boom.
13, 7.
Yeah, I'm in a different spot today. Ash wanted the PC. Actually, she wanted the office.
Sweet.
So I got relocated to the living room with the laptop.
So you had a new crew today, Elise.
I was on Reddit.
Yeah.
Which is like usually a lot of people. I haven't looked at the analytics just yet, but usually I get like over 1,000 people that watch those videos.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And people like it, you know. So I gotta do it more often. But it's like it's a totally different. Oh no, it's 594 people, but that's still a lot of people, just random strangers around the world, just dropping in.
Yeah.
Is it like that? Is it like that subreddit Pan? Where it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
public
RPan.
access
Yeah, I was on
server?
RPan. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you ever scroll through
Sweet.
that?
Oh yeah, love it. Actually, I found it during like the very beginning of quarantine
Yeah.
when everybody was like just chilling at home. You know what I'm saying? Like literally everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like watching people play piano and like cook and like also just random. Everybody was just streaming random content. None of it was like anything specific. It was just like, hey, hang out with me and my dog for
6 hours.
Well, they only give you 45 minutes,
Mm.
and then it cuts off, and you have
then
to
you
make.
have to just jump back on, basically.
Yeah.
You do what you do with YouTube. I think is doing that as well. Put a time limit on it.
Well, Instagram used to time limit your live videos, but now
Right.
yeah, they don't do that.
Good music.
Well, we got two. Let me turn mine off actually. Get Joe's hang
I
drum
can't hear
there.
any music.
It's like
I have my hand pan in the background.
that's what I hear.
Yeah, I'm hearing your
Is
hang
the
drum.
hand pan.
That's probably mine if that's the case.
It is yours. Yeah.
Well, it's super quiet. I'm surprised you guys can hear it.
It's one of my favorite instruments. I might be sensitive.
Pretty much all I listen to is like
So
that
chill.
and like lo-fi chill hop type stuff. And then like when I'm in a mood, I'll listen to something that I like because I like pretty much every genre of music and I have favorite artists from everything. So today I was listening to some folk, things like that. But I pretty much always have like handpan or some like lo-fi electronic stuff or like Native American flute
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's pretty much just ambient noise.
I was listening to like 4 hours of Avatar lo-fi yesterday on YouTube.
See,
It was
there you go.
amazing. Huh?
That kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah, it was like Uncle Iroh talking about tea mixed in with like, Zuko
Oh, fun.
quotes about honor. It was great.
It's like lo-fi with Avatar samples.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like the music from Korra and the Airbending series. It was nice.
Just letting you know, our friend in Denmark is lurking. He won't be joining us,
Creeping.
but he's creeping
Tuck's
hard.
around here somewhere.
4:00 in the morning, looking out his window. Well, what is it? Yeah, it's probably like 4 or 5 there.
Creeping.
Yeah. Creeping hard.
Drinking tea at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I have some flowers I will show you guys.
Hmm.
And there's a peacock feather.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I bought them when my friend's mom just passed away because she's in Oregon, and I was like, I feel so helpless. How can I be connected to her?
Right.
So I made a little altar, and they're still going, those flowers.
Nice. Yeah, the Reddit community is different though. It's like when you go on there, you've got to be prepared for just like bombarding of like everything, But they started like every time they tease about the weed. They're like, "Oh, tea and weed. Do you ever do weed tea or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Here, actually, let's brew some right now." So.
You're out here.
Where do you think that comes from? Like, why does?
I don't know, cause like they
associate.
I don't makes it feel cool or something. I don't know. But one guy was like, "Oh, that's cool. You're kind of like a high-end drug dealer, but for tea." I was like, "Yeah, I guess that's like what people like. They want to take that and that creativity in their mind to."
To be completely honest, I sold pot for most of my life. I went to prison for it. Now that I'm selling tea, it's like so similar. It's ridiculous. The difference is you have to keep track of everything in a legitimate business. In
Right.
that business, you can't keep track of anything. You do, like you specifically
Well,
you
I
don't want
hope.
any trace of anything. It's all gonna be in here, So
Yeah, well, you're keeping track in your head, or else you're losing money, right?
yeah, right. But you can't write it down anywhere. You don't want a list of stuff. You don't want messages. You don't want emails. You don't. That's the difference. And I
Yeah.
can like actually label my packages, stuff like that. And just stand over a scale and weigh out herbs all day. That's my job.
That's great.
And then sell them to people. It's fun.
So these Reddit people are serious. They're like, Elise, you need to make a schedule and let us know when you're streaming again. I got a bunch of followers out of that, so that's
Sweet.
good. Yeah, I guess
Monday, Thursday.
yeah. Well, I have to do it at a different time than whenever I'm with people, because like the questions come in so much that I've got to be like focused on them.
I mean, we can help answer tea questions. Actually, so no, for real, change the subject here
Okay,
for a minute.
okay.
I thought about this randomly today out of nowhere. Kayla, do you even drink tea?
Yeah. I just bought some for leaves, but
Poser.
I went through the burner side of things, so I like thought about it. I was like, is she even a tea head? Like she just hangs out with me. I've never seen a tea in her hand.
I had like a loose leaf tea era of my life, and then I just devoted that income to other things and was doing the gross tea bag thing that Elise hates.
Elise isn't the only one. I promise you that.
Oh, I know. And then I just started drinking herb tea.
Gotcha.
Herbal tea.
Yeah, herbal tea. Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, that's my business, pretty much.
Yeah. But that's been kind of more ongoing. And then I just ordered some from Elise, and I just got my first Gaiwan set. So.
I saw that comment, actually, and so that reminded me of me thinking of it earlier. I was like, oh, I was going to ask her about that anyway. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like an ebb and flow. But I just got my car all, there's a bed in the back, because I want to get my tea set to the mountains and go drink tea out there, and I'm really excited about that.
Have you ever had Gong Fu style?
I haven't prepared it myself, but I've sat with other people doing it often, and
Gotcha.
Some of my favorite people are those kids at festivals who are on the side path, and they just pull the tray out of their backpack, and they're like, let's have tea, and I aspire to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to be that person. You guys want some tea?
Yeah.
Backpack.
You're gonna have this big crocheted bag filled with all your goodies and just.
Yeah.
I love your idea to make teacups and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Out of yarn, I gotta do that.
You could make my mom is actually thinking about making me one of these, but you could make a carrying case. They make these, it's kind of like this plastic stuff that you can cut to size, and it's basically a grid, and you just weave yarn through it, you know what I'm saying? And you can make yourself a box to carry your whole tea set with dividers and stuff, so nothing clinks together, and you know what I'm saying?
Fun. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, cool.
I like that idea.
Yarn ideas. Yeah.
It gets
And you can
very.
just bust it out on the side of the path.
Right? I could do urban, I could do forest, tea
So we
anywhere.
were thinking about doing that kind of as a sponsored deal through our business of tea in the park. You know, we just go, I have this big old 6x6 yoga mat, and we could just go down to the park, roll that out, just sit down, and whoever wants to come get comfy with us can come get comfy with us. So,
I love that idea.
yeah.
I miss doing things with people in real life. I mean, I do it a little bit, but not where you just go out and wander around. When I first met Elise, and she was the tea fairy in this grass thing inside. I feel like the floor was made of fake grass.
It was, yeah, it was an AstroTurf floor, and we brought a rug in.
Right.
Yeah, that was a very chaotic space, but we made our cool little sanctuary there, and there was a bunch of naked women all around us. I do remember that.
Oh, wow.
Totally.
Yeah. Because like the
That's
art
also the
gallery.
same thing where I did yoga. So it's a very loud, chaotic building, but there's like chill things going on in there.
Yeah,
Where was
yeah.
that at?
Vegas, Charleston in Maine, the
Oh,
Arts
okay.
Factory.
The Arts Factory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've talked about that a little bit at least. I think I've heard some stuff about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
that's
big
cool.
into the Arts Factory. I haven't been there in a long time. But
Neither.
Area 15 is the new one. I've got to go check out. I don't know. I've just been kind of hesitant about the crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's a big space
My
there.
grandma was just reading an article in the newspaper, and she's like, Kayla, the newspaper is saying that there are 35 homeless people in Sierra Vista. And I'm like, only 35? And she's like, that's such a big number for this small town. I'm like, Grandma, homelessness is like an epidemic right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we
for
were
sure.
we were having this conversation about that, and it was just, I don't know, interesting
I'm pretty
to
sure there's one here right now, and everybody
in your
knows
yard.
who he is.
It's
No, he's up on the exit ramp every day in the same spot, and he has been for several months now. Usually they come in, they'll be here for a little while, and they'll disappear. Move
how
along,
does
you know what
he
I'm saying?
survive? You know, that's what I'm wondering. How to survive?
I'm not exactly sure.
Because it's
Yeah.
straight to snow
Honestly.
where you are, yeah?
Yeah, it snows.
It's usually super cold. It hasn't snowed hardly at all yet, but it does get cold. So it will though come January. I mean, January, February, March, it'll probably blast us with a bunch of feet, I'm sure. But I honestly I have no idea. That's like homelessness doesn't really last through the winter here. You know, there will be people floating around on the exit ramps during the summer, but
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have more people because it's very rural and it's, it's cold, but it's like sunny,
Yeah.
so it's easy enough to construct something to keep yourself warm.
right, yeah, you could survive through the night there. You know, it doesn't get down to like 0.
mhm.
In Eugene, the police just did a sweep on one street and there was like 100 people that had been living there for months. And these like, volunteers were going to like help them move and offer supplies, and like the city came through and like plowed these people down, and it's like, where do they go? And
Yeah,
Eugene is so open to houselessness, and there's lots of systems and organizations in place to help. So, there's a larger number of there 'cause it's like more welcomed. But
Mhm.
anyways,
it's like that out of sight, out of mind thing, though. They move them from there, and it's like, well, where do they end up? They end up somewhere,
Yeah, they got
Right.
it somewhere.
you know. And then they didn't just like, oh, magically I got a house now because you kicked me out of that spot.
all better.
You know?
All my
Yeah.
medical bills are paid, and I have a home
Right,
now.
exactly.
And yeah,
Well, I say that often about like trash. It's like there is a way is always here to someone else. So if you get, if you throw something away, or if you get one of these homeless people to move to somewhere else, well, that's here to someone else. You know what I mean? So they didn't just like disappear because you kicked them out of their spot.
Mhm.
You know?
right.
Right. When,
And how destabilizing, It's like, and all the effort and money and resource used to like move these people could be used to like house them in something,
it's really difficult though because there's almost like a guaranteed part of the population who doesn't want to participate in
That's what my
society.
grandma was saying. She was like,
In the
a
same
big
way.
number of these people like want to live this way. And me and my mom were like, well, I know historically there's like been that population, like always. But right now it's like there isn't affordable housing and income is
It's
not
not that.
adequate. It's like a smaller number of people. And I
There
think
is
it-
definitely always going to be a certain amount of people that don't want to participate in society in the same way that everybody else does, but that doesn't mean that everybody that's homeless is
Yeah.
that type of person. You
Right.
know, there's a big difference. There are the homeless people where you're like, hey man, let me help you, and they're like, yes, please, and they like will like listen and will like take a job, or they'll like, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. They'll work to get to make better for themselves. And then there are people who are like, if you don't have something to give me, move along, you know. And that happens a lot down here. I mean, there's a homeless population in Rapid City that is, it's a lot of Native Americans, and they just live that way, kind of almost by choice. You know what I'm saying? Not that you couldn't help them, but they would probably at some point end up right back where they were because there's less responsibility. You know?
I think it's more like, fuck this colonized system that stole our way of life. We want to try and live this way of life that makes more sense, but it's really hard because of, you know, racism and this system that we're trying to do it in. But I digress. Yeah.
I was basically that in my teenage years. I was basically that. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to anything you tell me. You know, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want. So I get it. It makes sense in my head of like why and how people come to the conclusion of like, I'm just not gonna be a part of society, and I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm just gonna steal stuff. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna stay where I want. I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want. It makes, I get it, you know. It doesn't make it easy or right, I guess, but
Yeah, it's a really like multifaceted and nuanced thing.
yeah, it's a long conversation, that is for sure.
Yeah.
There definitely isn't just some simple answer, or we'd already be there.
Yeah.
But the tent cities are getting crazy, let me tell you that much.
We would often have just like anywhere from 3 to 15 people living behind our yard, you know, in Eugene, because we were right off the bike path, and that was pretty common. And during, you know, the beginning of the quarantine, they weren't doing sweeps. They weren't moving people from the places they were staying. So we had quite an encampment just right there. And once they started, you know, things started opening back up, people came to have them move along. But they did bring porta potties and hand washing stations to these encampments during that time. Yeah, so that was something, because I was like, there's a pandemic and there's all these people and they're just like, you know, living literally on the sidewalk and they have no way to like wash their hands or even take precautions. Anyways, it was wild. Eugene is very, yeah, so it just was funny to me that my grandma was like, there are 35 people in this town, and that was like astounding for her. But
What's your population down there?
last time I checked, it was like 40,000.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
Yeah. And like Eugene is like 160, 170,000.
Yeah, 35 is absolutely nothing for that many people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't think that's including the military base.
Right.
Yeah, that's just like
Oregon
serious.
approaches homelessness in a completely different way than most people do.
They do. I want my tea set to get here. I'm so like,
have you started brewing your tea?
I drank that Assam, and I won't do that again.
Why?
Because I won't do it that late again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
a little busy.
I was all, I'm gonna watch a movie with my friend. It'll be fine. It'll help me like stay up. And it was like 2:42, and I was still laying there like, this sucks. Because I usually go to bed around 10 or 11.
Right.
So
That's crazy how sensitive people are to caffeine, man.
Yeah.
and it's like
does
I
not affect me
drink
like that.
coffee. I don't know.
No, but
It's
the
a different
energy in
kind of
Assam is different. It's buzzy. It's definitely buzzy. But you could have tried to like do some like meditation practices or something, because your body would definitely be more receptive to it, like having the energy for that. And maybe that could have helped get you to sleep when you wanted. That's what I do. Like if I'm feeling a lot of energy from tea, I'll just like meditate for a little bit, or just breathe, really, and then
Read.
or
You
read.
breed. That is the answer.
No,
I breed.
read.
I'm just kidding. I heard breed. Excuse me.
I mean, that would make you tired.
It's so lonely, you guys. This pandemic.
Speaking of, Kayla, how's
You
your
know.
text dating going?
Like, not going well. Ugh. I'm just annoyed. He's very, like, aloof, and I'm like, hey, I'm not into this. So, yeah.
That's too bad. Aloof is not good. Why people have to be aloof? It's
I
like
know, I'm
you
like,
have to
are
like
you just
try.
excited or not? Because I'm excited. I, like, want to be overt in my excitement and affection, and I want
I
that
know so many
received.
guys. I know so many guys that are just like, they're just so bland like that. They're just like,
They hate,
yeah.
yeah.
And you're like, dude, come on, like have some excitement or something.
I
We
don't have
talked about that.
time for this nonsense.
My
Like,
lady's husband, or my lady's boss's husband, is like very much like that. He's just super quiet and just like sits there. You know what I'm saying? And he's just, and his wife is the exact opposite. She is like super social and just like loud and like she's just super cool. Oh, she disappeared.
Yeah, we lost her.
But yeah, it's funny just the like hanging out with that kind of guy. They're just like sit there. I'm like, are you all right? You know what I mean? Just like poke them for a minute.
I'm back.
She's back.
Excuse me.
She's
Thought your
back.
turkey died.
I mean, it died. It was like, meh. Yeah, no, I was messaging a little bit last night, just some communication stuff, and it was, it like felt good to write things down and express them, but it was like more for me,
Yeah.
than it was like being received and comprehended and reciprocated. So, but hey, it was practice and being like, hey, this is what I want, and every time I can say it better, some people out there are for sure going to be into it. I just have to find them. So.
Yeah, if nothing else, you have somebody to vent to.
Yeah. Well, it was like intentional process, with a person that I've been with romantic interest. But yeah. I don't know, but it's like it's annoying during this like pandemic because I'm not just like, okay, next person.
Yeah, you get one chance.
Like, okay, well, meet someone else, and this one took like months of I don't know talking to.
Until you felt comfortable.
It was the first person that I was like, oh fuck yeah, when I like was looking for people, oh, I'll swipe right. And it was like the first person that was like, oh, this guy's gonna be cool, and like we hit it off and we're had a lot in common and stuff. So
And then
everyone else it's kind of like, well, I'll give it a try. I don't know.
Well,
pickings are pretty slim down here, I will say.
well, should we do a little like dating game on Topia one time? We have an audience. Maybe we can find the right Mr. Right for you, Kayla.
Oh my gosh, a Kayla specific Topia dating game. That could be fun.
Well, maybe we could have several.
How we set this up.
Yeah, what is this gonna look like?
Maybe we could have several bachelors and bachelorettes, and yeah, we could do like a game, like a dating game, where people can volunteer to step up. Like, oh, I'm interested. I don't know. It could be completely disastrous, but
it could be so awkward and amazing.
It's like guaranteed. Kayla, you're involved. It's guaranteed to be awkward.
That's why you guys bring me in.
Oh shit, it's not awkward enough.
Yeah, why is she not here? Things are too mellow.
What are we doing on the 20th? What's going on there?
The 20th.
It's my birthday.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I got the invite for that.
Do you got any ideas?
Well, I'm creating my my Topia room, and there's a lot of fun stuff in there. Like, I'm making a meme forest.
A meme forest, awesome.
Yeah, so you can walk through and read some really, like, a lot of them are memes that I made, and I really love Hey Girl memes. Ryan Gosling is like my fantasy boyfriend, and all the things I like want him to say, I turn into Hey Girl memes.
Okay.
So there's like some of him, and I made one of like Carl Sagan. And then there's like I don't know, like Uncle Iroh little like tea yurt, and there's like
Is this
stuff to
your
walk around and
Homotopia?
explore.
This is your Homotopia world?
Yeah, yeah, I have the
Sweet.
free one, so I'm gonna see how much interest there is. I really doubt more than 10 people are gonna come, but yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
free
I
one
can do
only
that.
allows 10 people in your room, in your space?
The free one I think does.
Yeah, I think the free one is unlimited. I think it's the same. It's just you don't get like the
Oh.
short URL. But you can
Yeah,
always
I don't
just
get I have to like put the long one in the invite.
yeah, but you can just create a bit.ly link. You can just create a shortened link, just bit.ly/Kayla's birthday. You can make that link with bit.ly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a website,
Oh, a bit.ly.
bit.ly.com. Yeah, you could just make your link
Cool.
there. Yeah.
I didn't know that was
Yay.
needed. I remember the old days of the tea house, or the Zoom sessions, and I remember that.
Or
Literally, like I remember the link for that. I didn't know you did that through a third-party website.
yeah, it's a third-party website. So you can shorten
Wow.
any link. You can shorten any link on that website. And you can even customize it, so it's just bit.ly. And a lot of people know that. They know the bit.ly and then / whatever, So that way,
Right.
when you're typing that link in all the time, it's easy to remember. You don't mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin's
Yeah.
been pooped all day. We walked to go see the monolith yesterday, which was, pretty awesome.
Can we explain that?
The monolith?
'Cause I'm out of the loop.
There's like 4 of them now, right?
No, I think there's
Right.
even more. There's a lot more.
So what is it? Does it like say something on it?
No. It's just like a 3-sided, mirror that's 10 feet tall.
10, okay.
Yeah, they're 10
I was
feet
trying to
tall,
remember
and
that.
then
Behind
maybe like 3 to 4 feet wide each side, and
Oh.
it's 3 sides, so it's pretty big. It's over 200 pounds. They're heavy, and
That's way bigger
yeah,
than
artists.
I thought they were.
It's like a
Same,
meme. It's like
actually.
it's like the end of 2020 meme. It's just a bunch of artists that are making these and putting them all over the place. Blaming it on the
Like, in
aliens.
specific, it's kind of just like an inside joke.
It kind of is, but they're pretty cool, and like all the other ones that have been discovered like out in the wild, like out in the middle of the desert or, random places. But this one's like right in the middle of Fremont Street. So it's like tourists everywhere. And everybody's like, how the hell do we not know who did this? Like there's cameras on every single casino here. Like what the hell?
Wow.
But yeah,
It was aliens.
yeah, the aliens, and they turned
Is it
those
just, like,
cameras
set
off.
there, or is it like bolted down, or what?
No, it's just there. Yeah, I didn't see it
It's
bolted
just
down.
there. Okay.
The one in Utah was bolted down, and there was some issue with that. I read an article, like the BLM or whatever rangers that were responsible for that area put out an announcement about all the traffic that it was bringing and how people were just like pooping in the wilderness and like not, taking proper disposal of it.
Mm-hmm.
No shame.
Which, and they said in the article, is actually a misdemeanor out there. And but yeah, the part that they were frustrated about was that they drilled in the base into the rock,
Oh, gotcha.
and
So they tried to remove it and couldn't.
well, they did end up removing it, but it just like was leaving a trace, And then all those people came out there and left trace with their footprints and their poop and
Mm-hmm.
their cars being parked, and yeah.
And who knows what else they did, yeah.
But I don't know much about the other ones, and that's cool that one showed up on Fremont. That's like a really appropriate place for one of those to appear.
So my friend took credit for it.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah, he's got, let me see, I'll open up his website.
Which friend?
His name is Matty Mo.
Okay.
I know him from Silicon Valley, so I know him from the tech world. He is an LP. He's actually like a minuscule, tiny investor in TLET. So, I mean, that's officially how I met him. But he's just kind of zany and fun, and he goes to Burning Man, and he has an interesting story because when I first met him, he had a very successful Facebook ads company that was like about to get acquired by Facebook actually for a lot of money, and he had a friend that kind of blackmailed him, and ended up releasing a video of him like going crazy in India, like drunk on the beach, naked, making a fool of himself, and he like posted that video publicly, and so like my friend pretty much lost his entire career, lost everything, and
Oh shit.
I had beers with him a few weeks after that happened. I'm like, Matty Mo, what happened? You went to India. Like, he was going to India to do all this volunteer work and, like, feel good and have, like, a retreat of sorts. And I was like, what happened? He was like, oh, it's all for the good, you know? He's like, I'm done with that company anyway. He's like, I'm like, so what are you going to do now? And he was like, I'm going to become the most famous artist. And I was like, are you even an artist? He was like, no, but I'm going to become the most famous artist. And that's what he is. He's the most famous artist, and he pretty much just exploited all of social media to. Also, here it is. Monoliths as a service. Let me share my screen. You guys can see it.
Joe, is your music playing from the laptop?
No, shut it off.
Oh. No, I was just curious. I'm like, is it like coming from where I am in your reality? But no, it's a speaker system.
It's a little echoey, yeah.
It's 10 foot that way.
Oh, it's got like a whole website.
Yeah, so this is his website where you can buy monoliths as a service. So they're like a global community of artists that have been creating these monoliths and like placing them in random places. So this one was the one I think found in LA area. This is of course the one in Utah. They're the ones that did the Hollyweed sign. He painted a whole house pink. He does like, this is him. He made the private jet selfie booth, where you can like take a selfie and pretend like you're VIP, but you're actually just sitting inside this little booth, tiny little booth here. This is him, Matty. Yeah. So like he creates, you know, buy a monolith. Okay, $45,000, museum quality materials.
Oh, I got that. Let's do it.
No problem.
Blockchain certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, no
will deliver to nature, to your druidic circle. We will bring the metal monolith.
That's fucking funny.
So yeah, my friend pretty much just used all of his know-how and skill in like doing Facebook advertising and all of those things to like turn himself into the most famous artist. It's pretty incredible.
The most famous.
Most
That's
famous
super
artist.
Weird. I'm wondering what the symbolism behind that is. Like, there's got to be some sort of meaning there.
Of being the most famous artist? Well, because like
those specific monoliths.
Well, I think it's from a movie, Space Odyssey.
Okay. So that's the inside joke?
Yeah, yeah.
That's essentially what I was asking in the first place.
So where does this come from?
Yeah, there's some sort of meaning here. Somebody just like, I'm going to put this random thing up. with no context, they either meant something that nobody knows or there's something that everybody knows, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of figured it was something everybody knows.
All right, guys, I have to refresh and come
Yeah.
back. My browsers. I'll be right back. Something happened to my Topia. I have to reload. Get back in.
Yeah. Elise, come fill our hole.
Yeah. Ah, there she comes.
Nice. There's a big hole between the two of us.
Oh, where? There's a hole.
We didn't feel comfortable enough to
There was.
be right
Oh.
next to each other.
So yeah, it was like me and then her, and then you appeared in the middle.
We're both pink.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. It's still doing the screen share problem.
What's that?
I don't know. My Topia window, like, because I did the screen share with you guys, it keeps, like, popping up my screen share window. Like, do you want a screen share? No, I don't. I do not care to screen
Welcome
share.
to Topia Beta.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they better get their stuff together.
All right, Sam, come in here. Get pissed.
Is Sam
Is
here?
this guy supposed to come?
No.
No, this is, like, totally
Oh,
not.
you want him to fix stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is like totally impromptu.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Even my stream, I wasn't intending, but I was just feeling kind of inspired, you know?
See, that's funny because I thought about that earlier. I'm like, I would totally sit down and have tea on Topia. Nobody's fucking around or doing anything. It's Sunday. And then sure enough, you were doing it. And I was like,
That's-
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
just
like,
stumbled in. I was like, oh, cool.
even just a few minutes is nice, you know?
yeah.
It's nice to do something.
Yeah.
I just ran errands and did work shit today. Then made chili.
Nice.
Yeah, it was super good too. Turned out awesome.
Good chili.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used half elk and half beef.
Ooh.
Yum.
My grandma's got this like jacuzzi tub with a back that you can lean on, and I just cleaned it yesterday so my mom could use it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go use that.
Yeah, so I can use it.
I
Jeez,
forgot.
that's
Because like my grandma's bathroom's all cluttered, and I forget that it's even a place I can go. So I changed it yesterday.
Does it have the jacuzzi jets in it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Hot tub, man.
it is. My mom got it for grandma, but it's like too high, so she has trouble like getting in by herself. We'd have to like help her, and I would, but it just never is a thing. So it doesn't. It's not one that has like the door on the side, you know.
Gotcha.
But
You build her a staircase or something.
I will lift her.
Yeah.
'Cause I love you, grandma. She's open to go look at Christmas lights with me, and I'm
fun.
excited about that because she hasn't left the house in like all year. So
Are you guys just gonna drive around and check out the lights?
yeah, I have this really nice hot cocoa that I got from the Green Salmon, which is in Yahats, Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna use it for that occasion.
Yahats.
Grind.
Yahats. That's the
Get some
one.
hemp milk and brew it in there.
Yum.
It's got mushroom in it, like
Oh, cool.
reishi, and but it's like that restaurant's whole deal is they use medicinal mushrooms like in all sorts of stuff, and they have like a bunch of tea there too. So
That's
yeah,
such a
if you're
small
ever in
little
Yahats,
town.
go there.
I've been through there before, driving to Beloved. But man, there's a whole bunch of decadent stuff that's coming from the Oregon coast, like Tillamook. This place seems pretty decadent. And then all the seafood. Oh my god. I would say that like my best seafood experience I think was in Oregon. Just as far as like price and freshness and quality.
That's that cold water too.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Fuck, man. It was just
No.
so I remember me, Nick, and our other friend, we were like, we went to this, like, just, it wasn't in Yachats. Like, that was in, what's the, Port, Rockport?
Walport? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's really closest to Beloved. Yeah, we just went there and ordered, like, the steamer with like the garlic butter sauce. It was just like huge plate of all of this like clams and um, different
Come in.
shrimp and mussels.
Sign me up.
I think we only paid like $20 or $17 for this big whole thing, and all three of us like
I am,
had more than enough to eat.
So fucking lutely
Yeah,
landlocked. I would love to have some seafood.
Wow. I am not a seafood person.
As it gets, yeah. It doesn't get any more landlocked than where I'm at.
here's Joe. Here's
No,
what I was
for real.
frustrated with my road trip that I went on when I went to visit you. Once
Yeah.
we left South Dakota and started, going through Wyoming and all of that, like I decided, okay, I want to go to a nice steakhouse and have like a nice like local steak. I don't care if it's expensive. We couldn't find one. It's kind of sad. Like I'm sure that, I mean, there's cows everywhere. Like that meat's got to be sold like in some butcher shops somewhere, but like restaurants aren't using it. It's like kind of sad.
So I think really what the issue is the steakhouses out here are more of a tourist thing
Mhm.
than like a real deal. They're more of like a gimmick, if you
Mhm.
will. So you go to a steakhouse and it's like they're not even sourcing their shit locally.
Yeah.
You know?
So locals
Your
like
best bet.
locals don't have like their
we went
own.
to Jacobs, didn't we?
Yeah, but even there, remember, I was like, oh yeah, because I was with you when I started craving like a local steak. Like there, I even
Yeah.
asked where the meat came from, and they were like, oh yeah, it's probably a Cisco or U.S. Foods or whoever
Yeah, I can't
distributes.
remember what they said. They try and source as much as local as they can, but it really just depends. A lot of the stuff around here is mainstream. It's like the mass produced shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to find somebody that's doing it themselves, and then go buy it like directly from your butcher shop or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where we get our beef is from one of our friends that own like the only organic certified farm out here. But they do their own steers and their own lamb, and it's absolutely excellent. So
It's
that's the best way to do
interesting
it.
how
Cook it yourself, 'cause,
beef is like that.
you know, yeah, if you want the good stuff, you got to get it from like somebody's house, somebody's home.
Yeah.
That's where you get the good stuff.
The good stuff.
For sure.
See, seafood's
Same
not
thing with,
like
like-
that. Like when you live in a fishing community, like everywhere you go is gonna have the local fish.
It's a little bit different though because they're farming it from nature, whereas cattle is not farmed from nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cattle is intentionally farmed. It's not like caught. It's not sourced from nature itself. Whereas like anybody can jump in a boat, get a license, and go out and fish. You know what I'm saying? Whereas here it's like a very specific demographic of usually the older generation at kind of a more archaic style of farming to where they don't really care so much about quality. They're just doing the same thing everybody's done for so long and just making meat for some big place to process elsewhere.
Hey guys, I'm gonna interrupt our little conversation to say hello to a new Twitch friend, Eaterin. Eaterin, is that how you like to be pronounced? Anyway, it's a new friend I've just met, and they said hello, so I wanted to let them know. And
Just
actually,
now.
Eaterin, if you are interested, you can join us in this tea party at the link in the title, topia.io/teahouse. And if you go there, you'll be able to join our friends, Joe and Kayla Bear. We're drinking tea together, having a casual Sunday chat. We're talking about what we talk. We're talking about like locally sourced meats and high quality products. We just like talking about the good life, right? That's it, right? That's pretty much like if we sum up like everything we do in Topia, it's like talking about the good life,
Quality.
you know?
Quality.
Quality,
It's literally
value.
like the only thing that I'm concerned with in life. I went from such a low quality of life that once I realized that you could actually like do things intentionally and like do them well, you know, I was like, whoa! And I started applying that philosophy to everything.
Mind
There's like an
blown.
art to living.
Life is so much
Yeah.
better when
Trying-
we appreciate everything and do our best.
Do
Yeah.
it. I'm trying
You
so
can
hard to
really-
apply it to dating.
All right,
God
Kayla,
damn.
we are definitely gonna do a dating show on my stream in Topia. Somehow we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun. I
Quality
think, yeah.
Topia dating. This is the Quality Utopia Dating Show, and your host is Elise. Today we're drinking a puer.
And
Quality
finding
Topia dating.
Kayla's
Somebody
love
go
of her
mix
life.
with Damiana. What would you brew in there? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It could be a
Okay.
thing. It could be a thing. I've got a friend, a tea blogger friend, Jeffrey Norman. He swears that romance and tea have nothing to do with each other. And so I'm always trying to prove to him, you know, that a lot of love and romance has come, you know, from the teacups. So this would be a great example, you know, if you were to find the love of your life through a tea stream.
That's
That'd be
kinda what happened.
amazing.
Well, it wasn't
I'll
food
give it a
tea.
shot.
Hey,
See, the reason me and my lady got so serious
was because of
was
tea?
Because of tea.
See, there we
Yeah.
go. See, more
We were
romance
already,
and
like,
tea.
dating or whatever, but we developed our business and stuff, and it kind of just like made
Yeah.
life that much more rich and real. And I would say because of tea, we are actually still together. We have purpose. You know what I mean? There's a
Mhm.
reason
Yeah.
for us to be
Mhm.
together.
There's a common purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So really, when I get my Gawan set, I'll just drink tea out the back of my car, and I'll probably meet the person. Because who wouldn't, you know, if I walked up to somebody brewing tea in the back of their car all solo, like, I want to hang out. What are you doing? Like,
Right.
that's the beginning
You
of the
need
story
somebody
right
that-
there.
Yeah, you need somebody that weird for
Yeah.
sure.
I do.
I don't know.
Are you
I
the
will
most awkward, weird
caution. I will caution about the hippies attracted to the tea set. You know, I have my fair
Oh,
share of
yeah.
experience with that, and
I do have a little bit of that radar.
Well, it's like the free.
Like your rant the other day was so good. Oh my god.
What rant? Which rant?
There was a piece where you were talking about like the Whole Foods food that they go get, the like
Oh.
superfoods, and
If I was a good
Yeah.
granola hippie, I would just do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Snake Eye, thanks for coming by and saying hi. Yep, peace. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Good
there's a lot of
times.
them out there.
Is the issue just lack of like access to other people? Do you think that's what's going on, or what?
Yeah, it's partially that, and partially like I'm fucking weird, and I want like really direct
That's not a
communication.
I promise you that's not a problem.
Well, I want really direct communication, and like a lot of people don't enjoy doing that.
People are
You
passive.
know, and like yeah, I'm assertive and I'm aggressive, and like a lot of people aren't into that, but I'm also like really anxious, you know, and like I don't like sarcasm, and if somebody says something that I don't understand, I want clarification because I want to understand. So I ask them, and that like weirds people out, and I'm attracted to people who like I have to work to make them prove that I'm worthy. So it's like a self-esteem thing
Mhm.
is probably the underlying issue.
Yeah,
Because
you
it's
should
not
work.
like
Yeah, you gotta work
I'm
on that first,
unattractive or I'm
Caleb.
uninteresting or like uneducated or any of those things. It's like I'm choosing the wrong people, and there's a lack of people around.
Are you choosing people based on how much they are like you? Because I found that specifically does not work or did not work for me. It was only when I opened myself to someone that was at 100% not like me did it actually work. Well, I
I'm
found
trying that more. I'm trying to lean into people that I'm like, oh, this isn't like a strong sparking attraction right off the bat. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because those people that I'm like, ooh, sparkly, those are the ones that are like usually not.
Those are friends.
Those
That's
are
what those
friends.
are.
They're super fun. But yeah.
Yep, I chose a lot of people that were like me for a long time, and those relationships were very, like, for lack of a better word, violent. You know what I mean? Not necessarily physically, but just in general, they were very
Wait,
volatile.
what sign are you, Joe?
I'm a Libra.
Hmm.
Libra!
Yeah, for sure.
I like Libras.
And
And you're a Capricorn? You're a Virgo, Elise. You're a Virgo.
I'm a damn Virgo, that's for sure. Mhm.
yeah.
I know so many women Virgos. You guys are like my most numerous female acquaintances.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
9
me-
months
me and
prior
Ash are
to
specifically, like,
the Virgo window is Christmas and New Year's, so
Mm.
a lot of people born at that time.
You're all, there's a lot of us. Virgo men, though, I'm like, please stop trying to tell me how to do everything. But Virgo women, I'm like, that's such a good idea.
yeah, welcome to women in general.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I'm like
all-
sensitive
all
to
major.
mansplaining, and then when it's
Yeah.
a Virgo, I'm like,
It's even worse.
yeah.
We're terrible, that's for sure.
Oh man.
I appreciate it.
I do too, but it's like specifically like I've heard from so many different places like it's really hard for a Libra and a Virgo to have a relationship. And yes, it fucking is. But if you can do it, it's so worth it. I mean, it's
That's
amazing.
you and
It is
Ash?
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're right on the other side of the cusp from each other. So our birthdays are 18 days apart, or 12 days apart. She's the 18th of September, and I'm the 30th of September. So we're like right there, and we're both on like the opposite side of the cusp. So, but really, what it takes from us is like just super wide open, vulnerable communication and understanding. If we can do that, and we can talk to each other about everything, and we can actually like be open and vulnerable, and communicate even the hardest, most difficult things to talk about, our relationship is awesome. The second we stop communicating, we're like boom right at each other's. You know what I mean?
I think every
Yeah.
relationship is like that, though, right?
I was gonna say, is that not all relationships?
It might be, but
That's what I'm struggling with. Is like, getting to that level of intimacy where we're able to like do that, because I don't think you get to do that just right off the bat. I don't know, maybe you can.
Well, there's different kinds of relationships too. There's people who like to be themselves and just have somebody there. You know what I'm saying? So they're like two different people, but somehow that works for them. We are not like that. We're like best friends. We want to do everything together all the time, and we have all the same interests, and you know what I'm saying? We're like basically one person. And then that's where shit gets difficult because we can't untangle our own selves from each other. So it takes a lot of communication. People who are okay with like, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and then we can have dinner and sleep together. You know what I'm saying? I know people that are like that and love it, but that it takes a certain type of person. So, and that's not me.
Yeah.
It's hard to do anything alone because we always want each other involved.
You never get sick of each other? That's never happened?
Oh, it happens all the time. That's what I'm saying.
We all know it's common.
Yeah, because like we get sick of each other, but for some reason we still want to do everything together. You know what I'm saying? It just makes us more sick of each other. And it's like we need our own time. We have to specifically go do our own thing.
Yeah.
You know the love languages? I recently read there was a sixth love language, which is distance.
Ah, interesting.
Okay.
And I was like,
I can understand that.
yeah, makes sense.
Everything's
And
gotta come in waves.
yeah.
It has to. Everything.
Kayla, it makes perfect sense. That's our soulmates. That's their language is distance. That's what's going on here. So that's why, you
No,
know.
my previous partner, his love language was distance, whereas mine is quality time and touch. So that shit didn't work. I was like, you're in Afghanistan. Like this, I can't touch you or like sit
Aw.
with you and be connected. Like this is awful.
Was he deployed
So-
in the military?
He was a contractor, so he
Mm.
was just making bank, but
Yeah.
not a soldier. Yeah. But that was like 10 years ago.
Was that your last relationship, Kayla? 10 years ago?
That was my what?
Last relationship?
I had like an 8 or 10 month relationship after that one. And that one was like 6 years. But yeah, so I haven't been in like an actual relationship in like almost a decade. Just
How
little
old are you?
things here and there. 36 in a couple weeks.
Okay, that seems about right. Steve,
Yeah.
you have fucking Jesus. Wow.
I what?
No offense or nothing, but that's
I'm
damn.
Jesus?
No, I was just like complimenting on how crazy that is that you have it. It's been like that long. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that time in your life. You know.
She
Yeah.
has a high
Well, I mean, I
standard.
could have been in a relationship and just, you know,
Right.
it not
Well,
been
it should
me
not
doing
fell
self work and
Bullshit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. I just was like, no, I want to like be in a partnership. You know,
Mhm.
I want to like work on something together with someone,
Yeah.
and I want it to be. I wrote it down. I'm gonna declare it to your live stream right now.
Yes.
Find it.
Cheers to that,
I
Caleb.
think that's great. Yeah, the partnership thing. That's kind of what I was talking about. Some people are okay with just doing their own things, and some people want.
It's a cultural
Well, I
thing
don't-
too.
I need a little bit of that. I need to like do my own stuff and
We
But,
want
like-
a common purpose. I feel like.
I want a common purpose, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am looking for a romantic relationship that is a container for mutual and individual growth. In addition to playful flirtation, overt affection, and clear and consistent communication. I want it to be a container for those things. So,
You'll get it.
It sounds
Kayla,
perfectly
you
reasonable.
got plenty of time. You're manifesting it. You're, becoming a better and better person every day. It'll happen.
I'm at home working on family relationships. Some people never do that, so.
That's huge. Yeah.
Did I already tell you this? My mom or my grandma asked me to help her with a scrapbook that she never finished.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
she's
cool.
like, I can't do the scrapbooking, but I can tell you the stories about the things and where to put them. So I'm gonna like record her talking about it as I put the scrapbook together, like later this week probably.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so maybe I'm not dating, but I get super grandma power time.
You're getting intimate interaction with other people. That's cool.
You know what's
Yeah, I'm
interesting?
so fortunate.
One of our friends that comes, one of our tea friends that comes and has tea with us here at Topia, he was telling me that he did a project like this for his family's scrapbook, whatever, and he ended up learning that his family was involved in this like bloody massacre that had all but been erased from history. You know, that
Oh, God.
that he's now working to try to bring back out and help. There's actually like a researcher who's trying to document all the story, and supposedly his family's journals are the only place where any documentation is left of it. So that's
Wow.
kind of heavy to have to like, embark on when you
Yeah.
start learning about your family's history.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
There might be some stuff like that, but
But
it's
that's
possible.
cool. That's great. You should keep us updated on what you learn.
I will. I
Awesome.
learned that my grandma's parents were kind of polyamorous,
Oh, fun.
the early 1900s, and I think that's pretty
Wow.
cool. Yeah,
Like polyamorous or polygamous?
like polyamorous, like he didn't have like multiple wives. It was like I forget who, like my great grandmother introduced my great grandfather to his new girlfriend, and like he introduced her to her new boyfriend, and they were all like cousins with each other. And like my great grandma had two other children from a different person, a different man,
Yeah.
and they're like 20 years younger than my grandma. So there's this great black and white photo of my grandma like in her 20s, bent over, like talking to this toddler that's her brother. And he lives in California, and he's got long hair. He's like a hippie, and he's super fun. I like him.
So you're saying it's in your blood?
It's in my blood. Long-haired hippie shit is in my blood. If it was light out, I'd show you. There's a camper van on the other side of the yard. I'm in an RV on one side of the yard, and there's a little, road trek camper van that my grandma and grandpa used to drive around and go to square dance all over the country. They have square danced in every state in the United States, and she's got all these like square dance dresses she wants me to go through, and
Oh,
jewelry
that's
and
fun.
I feel like maybe that's why you're where you're at right now.
my grandma stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
sounds like it. Definitely. Like that has a lot to do with it anyway. Also, like I was talking, things come in waves, and usually on the like in between, like the interval between things, the longer that is, the more it's building towards. So you